Hello, good morning folks. This is Dean. Welcome back to the channel. Please comment and subscribe. And thank you for all your participation and subscription. I really like your comments, guys. It really helps me as a retiree. It stimulates our brain function. It really does, because there's a lot of things that sometimes we forget. Some words sometimes, sometimes you notice me that I would feel blank sometimes, just because I'm trying to fill in the right word, what I'll say next. And that's normal. You will all experience that when you reach my age, okay? Some people would even have dementia, much younger age, or Alzheimer. But I'm so glad that I still do not have that. My God, I hope not. But my mom, at late age, she had some signs of dementia, really bad, but she was already in her, I would say, late 80s, like 87 and up. But my father was good. He died at 87, and his mental faculty are still very, very intact. But my mother, she cannot even recognize me sometimes, But otherwise, guys, let's talk about what it's like to be in the paradise. All right. Now, that's a very common topic among YouTubers, what a paradise is. And this time I'm gonna touch that matter with you guys, okay, with my subscribers. And I hope you enjoy this topic. Now, what is it like? Well, to me, it depends on your perception. It depends on the experience that you have in a certain place. You can be in the middle of the desert, like Arizona desert, and it becomes your paradise when you're happy and very comfortable living there, and it becomes your paradise. But you could as well live in the Philippines, which is truly a tropical area and supposed to be a paradise, and you are miserable because it's so full of disorder and you had bad experiences. Therefore, that area is not your paradise. It's basically hell for some people, and that's acceptable. Now, if you're gonna ask somebody what's a paradise, and if they will talk to you about it, it's based on what they read. It's generally described as a place where there's a lot of beaches, beautiful beaches, white beaches. People are wearing white brim hats with their sando. I'm talking about their tank tops, short pants, flip-flops, or speedos, or maybe thongs, like Bahay Kubos, and overlooking a beautiful blue-green ocean, maybe a lot of palm trees, green all over, So that's a paradise. Beautiful, actually. But anyhow, guys, I'm gonna give you categories to describe what a paradise is like in the Philippines, okay? So the categories are based on the housing, the transport, the food, the people, the weather, and entertainment. There's about 6 of them that I'm going to mention to you here, okay? Number 1 is the housing. Well, it depends where you are at in the Philippines, because Manila area is very expensive, but it's a beautiful area. It's really highly urbanized, very expensive though. You might have to triple your budget, all right? I've heard that some people would have to have $3,000 budget in Manila to be able to live comfortably. But it can be lower, but it depends on your threshold of comfort, basically, okay? You can probably rent there a place for 1,200 pesos, not 1,200, 12,000 pesos, which is $220 a month, and that probably would give you 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms with living room, like a studio apartment, and you have your own kitchen already, and you can go as high as $500 a month. And that's really true if you are gonna be in the center part of Manila, like Makati area, or probably even more. Now, in Cebu area, where the center part of the Philippines, and that's where a lot of foreigners lives. They love that area. You can probably go as low as 10,000 pesos a month, or maybe $200 a month for a rental properties, and that will give you studio apartment maybe, or 2 bedrooms to 3 bedrooms houses overlooking the ocean sometimes. And I've heard a lot of that based on the other YouTubers. And you can go as high, you know, as whatever your comfort level is. Now, in Davao City, where I live at, you can rent as low as 4,000, which is $80 a month, or as high as whatever you want. Now, my sister is an example. She rents a place for about 12,000 a month, which is $220 a month. And she has 3 bedrooms, a good living room, good sized kitchen, and also a bathroom, and with a little bit of garden at the back. And that's very comfortable area where she lives. And there's a lot more to choose from. Now, foreigners do not go a lot there in that area because of the bad reputation when we had a bad terrorism on the southern part of Mindanao. But Davao City is actually very far from those areas that are affected by the terrorist attacks before. It's very far. It's about 8 hours from our area. So Davao City is pretty much a very safe area. Cagayan de Oro is very safe, and I would say General Santos is good also, as well as Bukidnon area, which has a temperate climate. Now, we're gonna talk about food. In Manila, of course, everything is expensive, so maybe you're gonna be spending 3 times more expensive than living in the southern part of Mindanao. Now, in Mindanao also, you can find, or all over the Philippines, you can use palengke, which is very cheap area to get some farmers products like the fish and different kind of fruits and vegetables, which are very, very cheap. But if you're gonna go for the imported ones, you go for the supermarket, and it would be more expensive, of course. But if you are on a budget, go for the local, and it's cheap and very reasonably priced. Be proactive with the safety regarding food, okay? Because sometimes the handling is the problem there, you know? So make sure that you eat anything that's cooked, as well as your fish. But the fish normally is very fresh. Now, we're gonna talk about transportation. Taxis are readily available in all the cities, the big cities in the Philippines. Taxis does not cost very much money. Now, you can use bus, jeepneys, and some foreigners use motorbikes, like scooters, you know, those are not very expensive at all. So you can move around freely in the Philippines. In the rural areas, we have also motorbikes, but they cater to maybe about 5 or even 7 people in a motorbike. I don't know how they do it, but they have this kind of like a piece of wood across the motorbike, and 3 is on the left, and then 3 people is on the right, and 2 is on the back. And I do not know how they balance themselves, but I think they're gonna be warned not to cough at all, because they're gonna be out of balance, especially going through those rugged roads on the mountains. Can you believe that? I have seen some of that. Okay, that's really truth, okay? All right, now the people in the Philippines or tropical areas, they're normally friendlier as well as vibrant and happy. Why? Because we do not have fluctuation, or we do not have seasons. We only have really actually 2 seasons, dry as well as wet seasons. Unlike in the most of the first world, you have 4 seasons, you know, so your mood goes with the temperature. When it cools down, like in the winter, people get depressed And that's the real truth, okay? Because everything you see is so dusky. Just like today, it's dusky as well as kind of muggy there. So that's a normal thing you see during winter. So people who have some chemical imbalance, then you're gonna have problem with depression. But in the Philippines, we normally are out. We're socializing everywhere. You know, you can see people everywhere. So you're stimulated 365 days a year. Now, with regards to entertainment, well, it's very cheap because you can go from one resort to another without costing you a lot of money. Now you can rent a boat, a motor boat, and it would cost you maybe about 1,500 pesos, which is only $30, and you can go around the island where you are at. Does not cost too much money to go to resort, from one resort to another. You're gonna have what we call island hopping, and you can use their swimming pool for a little buck, you know. So you can avail to their amenities, and just like renting a place there and stay overnight. So you're allowed to do that for only 200, sometimes 200 or 5 pesos a piece. So otherwise, guys, I think that's all what I'm gonna touch this time. And I hope I have given you a little bit of an idea what a paradise in the Philippines look like. But I will warn you, it's not a perfect place. It's full of disorder, but it's really the way you adjust yourself to make it a paradise where you can live and comfortable and happy. Thank you, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.